Time for the market report. Prices still on the downswing.
That they are, but not too dramatically. We'll get into that and more. But first, the numbers. What were the week's biggest gains and losses? And then the latest crop progress report. How do things look so far? And finally, program updates from the Big Beautiful Bill. How do they affect Mississippi row crop producers? So, markets closed, still trending down, both livestock and row crops affected. Let's take a look. The week's biggest gain, lumber again up 21.5 bucks. That's more than a 3% increase from the previous week. The week's biggest loss, wheat down 21.5 cents, nearly a 4% decrease from the previous week. So what's causing these price shifts? Well, one factor is the current state of our row crops. Looking not too bad this year. Could be a good harvest, especially in corn and soybeans. Here's Bella Bingham with the latest crop progress report.
In the 18 highest corn-producing states, silking, which is when the female parts of the plant form, at 88%, 2% higher than last year but 1% lower than the 4-year average. Dough stage, which is when the kernels accumulate starch and thicken, at 42%, 2% lower than last year but 2% higher than the 4-year average. Conditions still looking pretty good, with 67% reporting good to excellent. In the 18 highest soybean-producing states, Mississippi included, blooming at 85%, the same as last year but 1% lower than the 4-year average. Setting pods at 58%, 1% higher than this time last year and the same as the 4-year average. Condition also still positive, with 68% reporting good to excellent. In the 15 highest cotton-producing states, Mississippi also included, squaring, the forming of the flower buds at 87%, 3% lower than this time last year and 2% lower than the 4-year average. Setting boll stage, which is when the fertilized flowers turn into bolls, at 55%, 4% lower than this time last year and 3% lower than the 4-year average. Condition less encouraging, with 45% reporting good to excellent. Last report, it was at 53%.
Several weeks ago, we talked about livestock assistance programs in the Big Beautiful Bill Act with Dr. Josh Maples. This week, his brother, Dr. Will Maples, discusses row crop assistance programs in the same bill, and he starts with an update on the current farm bill that passed. Looks like producers have more to work with.
We've been waiting for 3 years to get some type of farm bill update passed. The latest farm bill expired in 2023, and we've just extended it over the last 2 years. Well, in the Big Beautiful Bill Act, it's been in the news, they passed a few weeks back. They finally got some farm bill updates in there. And the biggest thing is they bumped up the reference prices in the price loss coverage program, and they tweaked the area risk coverage program a little bit. Those are the two main farm safety net programs for producers. So they've increased farm safety net for producers. I've calculated for Mississippi, we're looking at about a $245 million more dollars coming into the state in 2025 with these changes to those two programs. So at a time as we've seen low commodity prices, we know producers across the state are struggling right now. Finally getting those programs updated is going to be a big help.
What are the exact programs again that they are
so you have
helping out?
Price Loss Coverage Program, PLC, and then you have the Area Risk Coverage Program, it's referred to as ARC. So producers, in 2025 there was a change, so they retroactively applied their changes to this current crop year. And so producers are going to get the highest payment out of either of those programs. So whichever one happens to pay the most, they get that highest payment. Usually they have to choose between them. So by March 15th, they have to pick to be enrolled in either one or the other programs because they're slightly different. One covers this year price risk, one covers revenue risk. So they have to choose. But for 2025, they are retroactively applying these changes and going to pay producers the highest of the two programs.
So for anybody who's not in ag, these programs are basically a form of insurance, right?
So they're not technically part of the crop insurance. So in the Farm Bill, you got Title I, which is the traditional farm safety net, and that's where these programs are housed. And so what that just means is this is something the producers don't have to pay any type of premium. These are completely free programs to the producers. They just have to be signed up with the FSA office and be enrolled into them. And then you've got Title IX, which is crop insurance title. That's where traditional crop insurance is housed. They did make some changes on crop insurance. They increased the subsidy on premiums, so crop insurance will be a little bit cheaper for producers going forward. And then they also tweaked some of the subsidies on some of the area-based coverage programs.
So if I'm a farmer and I want to get involved in these programs, where do I go to make that happen?
FSA. So your Farm Service Agency, contact your local county office. They didn't make any, these aren't new programs. These are the same programs that have been around since 2014. All they did was just, they tweaked them, updated them to provide this better support.
Any predictions on how that's going to actually help out farmers, or you think it's just a Band-Aid?
This year, I mean, it's going to be a big help. So, I mean, as I said, it's an additional $245 million just from Mississippi alone. And where they've set some of these reference prices now, and with some of how the bill, I can't remember most of them off the top of my head, it's going to be a good support to producers over these next, it's been in place for 5 years going forward.
And that's it for a deeper look into the markets. Seems prices still slipping down, but producers have some assistance to help them through.